So now this is a bit of an issue because this is category 1 and this is category 2, 3. It's a hybrid basically. So I need these adapters I bought to change the size. That was for the top link. It's a different size. And then I can put these walls on top of that, like so. The PTO shaft is the correct length now, and I also rebuilt this this side of the PTO shaft here. It used to have one that was permanently attached, but now I needed a different length of the PTO shaft, so I had to get a new one. I have to remember this stick here in the middle, because if I don't set it upright like this, if it's to the side, it's going to lock up, and it's going to be too much friction for the spreader plate to go around, and the wheel underneath is going to slip. So, and that sucks. I've put markings here with electric tape. So this is for 50 kilos, 100, 150 and 200 kilos. I can just fill it up quicker that way. I don't have to weigh each bucket, which is overkill anyway, because it's not a precision spreader out in the field. You'll see that later. I'm gonna try something different this time. This spreader is supposed to run at 540 RPM at the PTO shaft, but then I have to rev the engine so high, and I don't have the 750 one of this tractor. It doesn't have it. The economy RPM, it runs at 750, so you get a lower engine RPM at 540. So I'm just gonna run it at 1000 RPM because it has that. And I've checked earlier, so I know that at 1100 engine RPM I've got 540 on the PTO shaft. So I'm gonna try that. So it's basically a high idle for the engine. it will work because this spreader, I mean, you could basically turn it by hand. It doesn't require a lot of torque, but you can't turn it by hand at that RPM. That's hard to do. And this is where I ended. I always make a little bit of a a turn, so I can see in the the tracks where I ended it, because you can't really see all those small granules. You can't see them on the ground from the cab. They are too small. So I'm gonna set it to 1100 RPM on the engine. That's low. Let's see how this goes. It worked. Then we need gears. Come on, speed. More speed. Sound like the RPM is too low because of the engine sound. It's barely above idle, but the rev meter says it's at 540. So later on in the season you get to see the result from how bad you were driving when you spread the fertilizer, because you get dark green streaks and in between bright green grass, and it gets the grass gets darker because it's the nitrogen. The plants need nitrogen to produce chlorophyll, and the chlorophyll makes the plants green. The grass is greener with more chlorophyll. So this type of fertilizer spreader is kind of inefficient. It's not very precise, and it's yeah, it's not that great, but it's better than spreading it by hand like my grandfather used to do on these fields back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't really know, a long time ago. He would do that by hand, just spreading it out from a bucket, and that's a lot more work and a lot slower. So yay for tractors. Yeah, so they're just gonna be lying here waiting for the rain, and when the rain comes they're gonna melt and it's gonna go down into the soil, and then the plants can pick up the nutrients. So it's a great way to get the nutrients out to the plants, because when you spread manure or urine or whatever you spread from animals, a lot of the nitrogen goes up in the air. You kind of need to spread it while it's raining or just before it rains, because when when it's lying here in the field in the open, the nitrogen evaporates and goes back to the air. The air is made of, what is it, 70 or 80% nitrogen, something like that. So it will just go back there. But this way it's gonna stay in the granulate form and until the rain comes. Then it goes down right away. So very little goes back into the air.